The Sunrise Interview is sponsored by Elk Valley Casino, Crescent City.
Welcome back. Now, joining us this morning is Mark Daly, owner of Thunderstruck Custom Bikes, to tell us all about one of the Rogue Valley's most heartwarming traditions, the Southern Oregon Toy Run. Good morning, Mark, and it's good to have you back on Sunrise, this time with a different bike.
Yeah, it is a different bike. Yeah, it's a friend of mine, Tim's a really good buddy of mine that helps us out with our events, and he was nice enough to bring it down this morning.
Well, very cool. And so let's get right into it. This Saturday is the 44th annual Southern Oregon Toy Run.
Yes.
How would you describe this to someone that has never heard of it before?
It's an awesome event. It's people coming together to help kids to raise toys and money for local kids and charities. And everything we raise stays in the Rogue Valley, right here in the Rogue Valley for all of our kids.
Very cool. Yeah. Such a good and important cause this time of year. How did Thunderstruck originally get involved with the Toy Run?
I've been doing it as a participant for about the 44 years it's been going. And then when the previous people that were running it took it over, or decided to move on, they asked us, me and Star Auto Body and Star 24-Hour Towing, if we'd like to take it over and do it as a partnership, and we said yes and took it from there about 6 or 7 years ago.
What would you say is your favorite part about being involved in this annual event?
The people, the coming together of the people. Like we're talking rain on Saturday possibly, but it says rain or shine on our flyer, and that's how we do it. We don't care if it rains, pours, snows, we still do it. It's a great cause. People still show up in force to help us out. Nobody ever says, hey, I'm not going to go out because it's raining, very rarely. So we get a really good crowd either way. 200 to 300-ish. If it's sunny, almost 400 bikes sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah. What
a great community event to bring everyone together.
Yes.
And right now you're working on a custom bike for a disabled veteran, Keith Sikora.
Yes.
How's that project going, and can you tell us more about it?
We're just starting that project. Actually, he flew in not that long ago. I think we kind of covered that a little bit. And we talked about what he liked, his needs for making the bike where he can ride it, and it worked out for him. And then we pick colors and schemes and things like that. And then he goes back home, and then I communicate with him via the phone to see what we might want to change up. If I want to change something up, sometimes I just surprise them. I'll just do certain things. But for the most part, I keep in contact with them to make sure I'm doing what they want and what their needs are.
Wow. Yeah. And it seems like giving back or service is such a big and important part of your business model. Yeah. What would you say is kind of the inspiration for that?
I traveled on the road a long time doing this, doing bike shows and things like that. And every time I do it, we were in different towns or different cities, things like that. And we got to thinking about it after a while, or I did, I'm tired of doing this running around everywhere. I thought we could do a lot of good maybe here at home with, what we could raise money for in charities. And I've always done a bike show for charity, for years. I've come up on 30 years doing that. So it's always been a big thing for me to help the community. That's helped me out for so many years and supported me.
Really
so
admirable.
Yeah.
Mark, is there anything else you would like to mention before we wrap up today?
I'd like to just thank the people and volunteers who come and help us. We don't do it. It takes a community to build this thing, because everybody who shows up, shows out, volunteers, helps, brings things, money, whatever it is. We appreciate you. You should give yourselves a pat on the back, because they're the ones that help make it happen. We appreciate that.
Mark, thank you so much for coming back on Sunrise, telling about this great cause and showing off a different bike.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me. I appreciate that.
Of course. Now, as Mark said, the Southern Oregon Toy Run happens this Saturday, rain or shine. It all kicks off at 10 a.m. at Tuville Lodge with a social hour, and the parade to the Eagles Lodge starts at noon. There will be food, hot beverages, and music from the Shakedown. If you're donating, keep in mind the gifts will be delivered to children aged 0 to 17, so don't forget about those older kids as well. For more information, find the Southern Oregon Toy Run on Facebook. And Mark, once again, thank you so much for coming on Sunrise.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Of course. We'll be right back.